The Checkpoint is presented by GM Pharma, the first international multinational pharmaceutical company in Georgia. GM Pharma, to serve those who need it most.
I want to state once again that Georgia's place is in Europe. Georgia deserves candidate status for EU membership. Prime Minister Ivanishvili said at the annual Conservative Political Action Conference in Budapest. As the head of the government noted, Georgia expects a far-sighted and fair decision from Europe regarding the candidate status. According to him, visa liberalization, the association agreement with the European Union and the free trade agreement, as well as the granting of a European perspective to Georgia by the European Union, are the achievements of the current government's efforts. Within the scope of the annual meeting of the ADB, a landmark event has been held in the format of a business session of ADB governors. Ivanishvili, Minister of Finance of Georgia and ADB governor, spoke at the event. He focused on the role of bank in supporting the region through making significant changes. As he noted, key principles of the ADB and other development partners should be a flexibility and decisive action in response to pressing challenges. He added that by quick recovery of the economy, Georgia has demonstrated its commitment towards a sustainable development policy. Minister stated that the country has a double-digit economic growth in 2 years in a row. He claims that strong economic and fiscal parameters give a solid foundation for a long-term strategic planning. Tbilisi Mayor Kaladze says that Georgia deserves the EU candidate status last year as well because it had taken concrete steps for it. According to him, not granting the status to Georgia was a political decision. I have repeated it many times and I will say it again that Georgia deserved the status of a candidate for the European Union. It's true that the decision was made regarding Ukraine and Moldova, but we were the first to deserve it. Don't take this as if we approach a country at war, God forbid. On the contrary, I will always be happy for the success of Ukrainians. However, if we look at it realistically with parameters and numbers, Georgia is the first that has taken concrete steps, implementing reforms, fighting corruption, etc. Not granting the candidate status was a political decision, and the public understood very well why it happened. The government of Georgia is a problem for them because it does not join the sanctions, does not start a war, and does not open a second front in the country. All this was used as a kind of leverage. After that, they gave us 12-point plan, said Kaladze. Republic of Korea officially handed over the status to Georgia at the business session of ADB governors to host the annual meeting of the bank in 2024. The landmark event will take place in Tbilisi on May 2-5, 2024. Also, Ivanishvili, Minister of Finance of Georgia and ADB governor, will chair the ADB Governors Board for a year from today. As a host country of the annual meeting of the ADB next year, Georgia has its corner on display, which has been visited by a lot of delegates from participating countries. Official and cultural event was held on May 5 to present Georgia as a host country for the 67th annual meeting of ADB in 2024. President Ivanishvili really cannot be blackmailed with financial sanctions. He will not take any wrong steps against the country or people. They don't know the phenomenon of President Ivanishvili. The Secretary General of Georgian Dream and Mayor of Tbilisi, Kaladze, said in response to the question regarding the possible sanctioning of President Ivanishvili, the founder of Georgian Dream Party. According to Kaladze, the formal sanctions of Ivanishvili will have no result. Whatever their desire is, whatever their goal is, for which they are taking these steps, they will not get results because they don't know President Ivanishvili. They really cannot blackmail President Ivanishvili with financial sanctions and will not make him take wrong steps against the country or people. They don't know the phenomenon of President Ivanishvili, and this is a sad reality, Kaladze said. National Competition Agency studies prices of medicines for oncologic disease offered by 4 pharmaceutical companies based on the data provided by the Health Ministry, said the agency chair Irakli Lequinadze. According to Lequinadze, the competition agency communicates with the companies to probe into the alleged Carter Agreement related to offering equal prices within the framework of the state program. We should wait for the research results that are expected to be known in 6 months to confirm or reject the suspicious, he said. Passengers will be able to pay taxi fares by a QR code from May 2022 against previous cash payments only, Tbilisi Mayor Kakakaladze said at the municipal government meeting. However, Georgian company introduced this innovative method that identifies the account of any person. The taxi drivers will receive the codes at service centers. A customer will scan the QR code with a mobile phone and easily pay the fare. The taxi driver will instantly receive the money transferred to his bank account, Kakakaladze said. Every 6th Georgian is likely to emigrate, finds a new study by the National Democratic Institute. According to the research, the desire to leave the country is relatively high among young citizens and men. The study notes that almost every 6 citizens has a family member living abroad who sends them money regularly. The survey was conducted between March 17 and 23 through telephone interviews with a nationwide representative samples of Georgia's adult population, excluding occupied territories. The March poll included 1,032 completed interviews. The average margin of error is 2%.
The Checkpoint is presented by GM Pharma, the first international multinational pharmaceutical company in Georgia. GM Pharma, to serve those who need it most.